I think I've realized something in my past 4 years that I really haven't, talked or blogged, is that all of my manifestations depend on my actions. I can't think it, I can't hope it, right? Or positive energy thinking, things people say, but it's all about doing. Because you can think positively all you want, and I can sit here and have the greatest philosophies, but if I'm not doing anything, the world's not going to give me anything, right? The world can give me anything, and it's the action that is the gatekeeper. My sort of mantra: acta non verba, deeds not actions, doing not talking. And it's not that you don't stop and reflect, which is part of learning. Like, we need to do those things. We absolutely do need to do those things. That's important without a doubt. But I think something that in the fitness industry is not, emphasized on enough, that I've noticed, is that progress depends on action, on doing something, right? Like, even if you're not good at the thing, just kind of starting it, because we're obsessed in fitness with social media on an entrepreneurship level, because it's cheap. It's cheap. It doesn't cost any money to post. So we've gotten to sort of a hyper posting mode, which I think is awesome. I love that fitness people can make money. When I first started, you had to be sponsored, you had to be in a magazine and things like that. But I love the direction that it's going, and it's all about that action. It's all about how are you going to do this thing. So in the past 4 years, I think I've gotten into something that I didn't think I would get into. And that thing was being a fitness entrepreneur. I never thought I would do it. I never thought I would be it. But I guess my sort of fitness entrepreneur journey has been relatively hard, relatively difficult. And it's been relatively fun, and it's been relatively up, relatively down. I think it's been all things. I think it's been so many extremes that it has balanced itself out to kind of like a great mode. So my modality in this is acta non verba. So I'll give an example of when I first kind of got involved with the Novo, and we moved and we had our headquarters and we had our warehouse and everything. There was an error that we had that cost us a lot of money. It was a simple error, and it just fucking killed me. I took it personally. And I think in early entrepreneurship, I just used to get crushed, like, day to day, right? And I used to think, like, man, like, if I would have known better, like, would I have chosen this? Like, would I have really chosen this path? And I think in entrepreneurship, people don't want to take the bad part. They just want to take the good part. And there is much responsibility to the bad part as well. And in this discovering in the past few years, I found that I don't have as much. I have the time, right? But the time isn't that useful to sit and talk about this as much as I can, I guess, be more advantageous in actually doing something about it. So dealing with heartbreak in entrepreneurship, dealing with being upset in entrepreneurship, I realized that there is only one thing that can get me through, and it's just my actions. It's just doing something about it. It doesn't feel good, right? It doesn't feel good. It will never feel good. There's no way you can tell yourself to ease the pain or make it better. Like, failure is failure, and failure is part of it. And I think mistakes and failure are the endless modality of entrepreneurship. There is a poet, Khalil Gibran, and he has a book of poetry called The Prophet. This is a discourse he wrote on pain, which I've sort of recited to myself over and over. That has helped me a little bit with getting through to the next level on some failures. Pain is the breaking of the shell that encloses your understanding. Even as the stone of fruit must break, that its heart may stand in the sun, so must you know pain. And could you keep your heart in wonder at the daily miracles of your life, your pain would not seem less wondrous than your joy. And you would accept the seasons of your heart, even as you have always accepted the seasons that pass over your fields. And you would watch with serenity through the winters of your grief. Much of your pain is self-chosen. It is the bitter potion by which the physician within you heals your sick self. Therefore, trust the physician and drink his remedy in silence and tranquility. In silence and tranquility. you are going to have shit that fucks you up in your head, dude. That's just the end of it. Are you either going to just sit with it and just feel it and just let that shit burn and just feel it inside you? Or are you going to do something about it? I think the easier way is actually getting up and doing something about it, because nothing is worse than a mental prison of stress that the, I guess, American or Western style of excessive work can create. It's very doable, though. It's very doable, and it's very enjoyable, and you have to break through to find it. You have to break that shell, as Khalil Gibran explained. It's just no different than training. The adaptation period is not going to feel good. It's just not going to feel great. But if you can sustain the pain that you have self-chosen, it will teach you. It will teach you the way. It'll show you a new way of understanding. And I got to be honest with you, dog. You'll be unstoppable. Once you break through that, man, no one can touch you. So now, personally, where's Ryan Doris at? I've worked on this Novo thing for some years, and they're my family, right? Their pain is my pain. When I see them hurting, shit, I'm hurting. You know what I'm saying, right? So I'm all in for my Novo family, and that's where I'm at. And to see them succeed now inspires me. I used to think that I had to sit and create, and I had to come up with ideas on my own. But now I have a family that I can just look, and I get inspired by them daily. By my athletes, by my partners, by just the energy that the customers, just by the energy that people who follow the brand that they bring in. I will say, without a doubt, I have invested a lot in the past few years, but I have gotten 100 times back. The pain was painful, sure, but it is well worth it. Trust in your actions 100%, because what else do you have to do besides do?
In order to achieve their dream or get where they are. So really you can think about it. I mean, life is hard no matter what you do, if you're persistent or if you give up. So do you want to be upset with yourself or have regret about, well, I wish I would have done this, or